A e to the power minus EA by RT. So it's a very important 1 mark question. To form activated complex and then form products is called as activation energy. Now if I change the temperature, what exactly will happen? Will the most probable kinetic energy change? So this is the first method, that is the graphical method to calculate the Hello my dear students, welcome back to the session 5 on the chapter Chemical Kinetics. Last class we studied about half-life of zero order and first order reaction. Also we have solved some of the numericals, isn't it? I hope you have revised and also worked out all of the problems and the derivations. Okay? Today we'll be learning about the effect of temperature on rate of the reaction. Usually, when there is an increase in temperature, the rate of the reaction also increases. That is, the speed of the reaction also increases. But how do we actually get to know that the temperature is affecting the rate of the reaction? There will be change in rate constant. So, when there is a change in temperature, even rate constant also will change. Okay. So, we are going to learn about something called as temperature coefficient. So, what is temperature coefficient? The ratio of rate constant of a reaction at two different temperatures differing by 10 degrees Celsius is known as temperature coefficient. So what is it? It is the ratio of rate constant at two different temperatures differing by 10 degrees Celsius. Now for example, if I have the rate constant at 30 degrees Celsius, then I have the rate constant at 40 degrees Celsius. If I take the ratio of this, that is, if I write it as K40 by K30, okay, that is rate constant at 40 degrees Celsius and rate constant at 30 degrees Celsius, this ratio is called as temperature coefficient, and this is always approximately 2 or 3. That is, see, the rate usually becomes doubled for each 10 degree raise in temperature. For every 10 degree raise in temperature, the rate of the reaction can double or sometimes even triple. That is the meaning of that is equal to approximately 2 or 3. So, how exactly this is happening? We will learn the concept of activation energy. Only then we will understand exactly how when we increase the temperature, even the rate of the reaction is increasing. Next we have Arrhenius equation. What is Arrhenius equation? It's an equation which is relating the rate constant to the temperature and activation energy. According to Arrhenius, the rate constant K is directly proportional to e to the power minus EA by RT. Now, to remove the proportionality, we put a constant A, which is called as Arrhenius constant. Now, what is K? K is rate constant, A is Arrhenius constant or frequency factor. Also, R, what we have is the gas constant, T is temperature in Kelvin scale, and EA is activation energy. So this concept is new for you all. What is activation energy? We need to understand. Okay. So Arrhenius equation is an equation which is giving a relation between rate constant and temperature and activation energy. Okay, and this equation is called as Arrhenius equation. K is equal to A e to the power minus EA by RT. So it's a very important 1 mark question as well. Okay. Now what is activation energy? According to Arrhenius, when the reactants collide with one another, all the collisions will not lead into product formation. What we have learnt, when the reactants collide, they will form products, or they will react with one another during this collision and they will form products, isn't it? But Arrhenius told that all the collisions will not lead into products. That means only activated molecules, if they collide with one another, they will form products, and such collisions are called as effective collisions. So what are these activated molecules? Activated molecules are those reactants which has the energy called as threshold energy. So what is threshold energy and what is activation energy? To understand, I shall explain with an example. Okay. So I've taken hydrogen and iodine. Okay, to form hydrogen iodide. So the reaction here is hydrogen plus iodine will give 2 molecules of hydrogen iodide. So what should collide with one another? Hydrogen molecule should collide with iodine molecule so that it will form hydrogen iodide. Now look at this graph. Okay. Now this is the reactant hydrogen and iodine, and they have the energy so much. Average energy of all the molecules are this. But when they collide with one another with this energy, they will not form products. Only if they collide and if they form something called as activated complex, they will reach the energy called as threshold energy. This is the threshold energy. So if the molecules, when they collide, if they have this threshold energy, then they will form activated complex and then they will form products. Okay. So from this level to threshold energy level to go, what excess energy they have to get, that is called as activation energy. So what is activation energy? The minimum energy water molecules should have to form activated complex and then form products is called as activation energy. Is it clear? So once again, according to Arrhenius, this reaction can take place only when molecules of hydrogen and molecules of iodine collide to form unstable intermediate. Okay. It exists for a very short time and then breaks up to form 2 molecules of hydrogen iodide. So you can see here, hydrogen, when it is colliding with iodine, they will form an intermediate complex. Hydrogen and iodine bond is forming. Here also hydrogen and iodine bond is forming, and between the 2 hydrogen atoms the bond is breaking. Between the 2 iodine atoms the bond is breaking. So you have an intermediate where you can see there are some bonds which is breaking and there are some bonds which is still being formed. So it is highly unstable, and this activated complex can be formed only when hydrogen and iodine molecule have minimum energy called as threshold energy. Only then when they collide they can form this activated complex. Okay, which will further form products. So I hope you have understood what is activation energy. So the minimum energy required by the reactant molecules so that they can form the activated complex and then they can form the products, that energy is called as activation energy. Okay. So activation energy in the form of formula, if I have to tell, it is threshold energy minus the average energy of the molecules. So this is the average energy of the molecules, this is threshold energy. So threshold energy minus the average energy, what is there, that energy gap, that is called as activation energy. Okay. So I hope you have understood about activation energy. Here we have a graph, that is the distribution curve showing the energies among gaseous molecules. Okay. This was actually explained by Boltzmann and Maxwell. What they did is they have taken the fraction of molecules, that is Ne by Nt. Now what is this Ne by Nt? Ne is the number of molecules with the energy E and Nt is total number of molecules. Now how did they take this value? I'll just take an example, okay. For example, total number of molecules which is there, gaseous molecule reactants what we have is 100. In that 100 molecules, 20 molecules have certain energy E1. Another 30 molecules have another energy E2, that is kinetic energy, okay. Other 30 has somewhere as E3 and another 20 has some different energy E4. So all the molecules will not have same energy. I told you different molecules will have different energy. So we have grouped the molecules with similar energy and we found that 20 molecules have energy E1, another 30 has E2 energy, another 30 has E3, another 20 has E4 energy. Now they took the fraction there. Total is 100. So 20 by 100 have some kinetic energy. So this kinetic energy given by 20 by 100 molecules. Okay, that is here. Similarly, 30 by 100, 30 by 100, 20 by 100. This is just an example I am taking. This is not exactly how they have done. It's a different way. Just to make you all understand how they have plotted this graph. What do you mean by fraction of molecules? Okay. So what is Ne? Number of molecules with an energy, with one particular energy divided by total number of molecules gives us the fraction of molecules. So that fraction of molecules with different kinetic energy, when they plotted, they got a graph like this. And the peak of this graph, this peak, okay, it's called as most probable kinetic energy, means the maximum number of particles have this kinetic energy. Hence that kinetic energy is called as most probable kinetic energy. Okay. So this graph was given by who? Maxwell and Boltzmann. Now what do we understand by this? Now all of this is done at one particular temperature. Now if I change the temperature, what exactly will happen? Will the most probable kinetic energy change? Will the graph look a little different? All this they have studied. Okay, so we'll see what exactly is happening. Here, same thing, fraction of molecules and kinetic energy is taken, same graph, but change in temperature was done. What was done? Change in temperature. So first they plotted a graph at temperature T. Okay. And then they increased the temperature by 10 degrees Celsius and then found out the fraction of molecules and kinetic energy and plotted the graph. They have got like this. Now what is this that we can understand from this graph? Look very carefully. At temperature T, this was the most probable kinetic energy, and you know this is after this energy. This is activation energy, EA. Okay, this energy, after this energy, that means the molecules have attained activation energy. They are activated molecules. Now they can collide and form products. So you see the area under the graph, we have these many molecules. Okay, these many molecules are there with activation energy which can form products. That is at temperature which? T. Now I told you the entire reaction mixture's temperature was increased by 10 degrees Celsius. So when they plotted the graph again, here you can see the most probable kinetic energy changed, the peak of the graph. Okay, but you can see the number of molecules under this after activation energy. The number of molecules having activation energy doubled. isn't it? The area under the graph is more now. That means the molecules which attained or which has taken up extra energy and they have reached the threshold energy level, and now all of these molecules can form products. So did you understand this graph? Yes or no? So once again, first at temperature T, this was the number of molecules which had activation energy. When they increase the temperature, the area under the graph increased, that is almost doubled. That means when we have increased the temperature, the number of molecules having threshold energy, that is they have taken up the extra energy what is given and they have reached the threshold energy level, and now they can form products on collision. So I hope you have understood the entire concept. Thus, what happens when we increase the temperature? When increase in temperature increases the number of effective collision, resulting in increasing in the rate of the reaction. Why the effective collision increases? Because the number of molecules having activation energy increase, that is almost doubled with 10-degree rise in temperature. So I hope you have understood the entire concept. Okay. Next we have calculation of activation energy. First method is graphical method. We know the Arrhenius equation is K is equal to A to the power minus EA by RT. Now if natural logarithm is applied to this, you will get ln K is equal to ln A plus ln e to the power minus EA by RT. Why plus? That is log A into B is log A plus log B. So I have written log A plus log B. Now here also I can apply one log rule, that is log A to the power B is B log A. So this equation will become ln K is equal to ln A plus minus EA by RT ln E. Ln E value is 1. So if I rearrange this, I will get it as ln K is equal to minus EA by RT by ln A. Now if I compare this equation with the straight line equation, y is equal to mx plus c, then it will match and I can draw the graph and get the value of EA, that is activation energy. My x axis will have 1 by t value, and if I draw the graph, I will get a straight line like this with intercept value is ln A. Here you can see intercept is ln A and slope will be minus EA by R. Thus if I calculate the slope, I can get the activation energy value, isn't it? So this is the first method, that is the graphical method to calculate the activation energy. So there is one more method called as rate constant method. So now what is this rate constant method? See, we are taking a temperature T1, that is at one particular temperature. ln K1 is equal to minus EA by RT1 plus ln A. How we got this? I explained you in the previous slide, isn't it? So it is ln K1 is equal to minus EA by RT1 ln A. Okay. At temperature T2, ln K2, see here K1 and K2, that is when the temperature changes, even the rate constant will change. That's why K1 and K2 we have written in temperature T1 and T2. So here minus EA by RT2 plus ln A. Okay. Now, A is a constant for the given reaction, that's why we have not changed, we have kept as it is. R also is constant. EA is something what I want to find out, so I have kept it as it is. Okay. Now, subtracting equation 2 from 1. So this I will consider as equation 2 and this I will consider as equation 1. So equation 2 minus equation 1. So ln K2 minus ln K1 is equal to EA by RT1 minus EA by RT2. Now how did I get this? If you get a doubt, I shall just solve here. ln K2 minus ln K1 is equal to, what is equation 2 here? It is minus EA by RT2 plus ln A, correct? This equation minus, I have to write equation 1 minus EA by RT plus ln A. Now what happens? Minus into plus is minus, so ln A and ln A gets cancelled, and minus into minus is plus here, so here I will get it as EA by RT1 minus EA by RT2. This minus sign remains as it is. That's why we have written it like this. EA by RT1 minus EA by RT2. Okay. Now, EA and R are common. So, we have taken it outside. 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So, this one, what we are going to do now? ln is there, that is natural logarithm. To convert it to log base 10, I have to multiply by 2.303. So here it is 2.303 log K2 by K1. 2.303 which is there on the left hand side, I brought it to the right hand side, it will come to the denominator. Okay. So EA by 2.303 R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. Now if I take the common LCM T1, T2, T2 minus T1 I will get in the numerator. So this is the formula which you can use to calculate activation energy if you know the rate constant at two different temperatures. So if I know T1 and T2 and K1 and K2, I can calculate the activation energy. So this is the formula which we have derived. Now using this formula, we have some numericals also. Okay, so the numericals will do it in the next class. So next class will be doing the numericals and effect of catalyst. So I hope you have understood today's class. See you next class. Thank you my dear children. Stay focused, stay tuned.